Going through. Now we have Bear Loam. Pretty simple deck. Green black rock with a lot of lands and Loam to facilitate Ayula's influence. Discarding the extra lands to Loam. I kind of feel like this should be a small block deck. I did change a couple cards. I added trackers to the main deck, and I also cut. It was playing 28 lands, which I felt like was too many. 27 might be too many as well. All right, good hand. Let's keep this. Doesn't have a influence, but Loam, Tranquil Thicket's a lot of card advantage. No! Don't do it! Man. Opponent with the nut draw. Well, I guess there wasn't really much point to... Well, you know what? Let me just play out the Tarmogoyf this turn, because if they have Thoughtseize, it's going to be pretty bad for us if they take the Goyf. I don't know if there's what a good Matter Reshaper command would be. I'm shuffling some good cards, some goat tokens. So we can guarantee one card type in the yard here with the Cling, or I guess Tranquil Thicket puts a land. So if the attack with the Seer is risky because we could potentially dredge enough for the Goyf to be big enough to block the Thoughtseer. Probably fine for them to still attack. Still just a 2/3. We did hit we milled over 2 influences though. That's not great. We can make Goyf a 4/5 next turn. Just take 7 damage though. So much. Milling over 2 influences is bad. So in order to make the Goyf a 4/5, we need to cast Loam and Cling to Dust, which means that we won't also be casting... We can't also cast Goyf. Oh, I guess what we can do here is we can actually go... We can go fetch Swamp, draw 3 cards with Loam, and then discard a Cling to Dust to hand size to make the Goyfs 4/5, and discard a land as well. Because I could have attacked first. Because I'm just gonna leave these guys back to block. Wait! Dang it. Sorry, I thought I could discard 2 cards. Well, I guess we're double blocking Thoughtseize or blocking the Reshaper. They might just be taking up their Mind Stone or Blast Stone and not engaging here. It's really bad for us that we milled over to Ayula's influence as well. Karn's really bad for us. They hit Relic. Guess we could still draw influence. Make a million bears. Maybe just to block here and force the Relic activation. I guess we force the Relic activation with a attack. I guess I could have cycled the Thicket. That was a mistake. It's kind of off of it. He'll play 3 Damping Spheres against E-Tron. Want the 4th one against Greentron. Needle's pretty good too. Dislike Fatal Push. Probably want to cut a Cling to Dust. Dislike Decay. Could play Bloodchief's Thirst, but I think we're just trying to like outsize their creatures with Goyf, Gargaroth, maybe Liliana Edict. Right, on the play. We have Influence Loam, but we don't have a fetch land. See, I don't think that we can mulligan this. I do think we can just play Tomb tapped on 1. They mulled to 5. I mean, Needle's pretty good against them. Fetch land would be really, really nice. Nice. So I'm going to name Expedition Map. Mold to 5, getting their maps needled. I'm going to name Karn as well. Yeah, Karn is like definitely a good one to name, I think. I guess I'm going to cast Tracker. We're pretty likely to draw land. We've got 26 in the deck. Don't matter shaper, thank goodness. Draw a card. Or do we loam and then dredge now? I don't think so. But I'll probably just third influence. I mean, we should be able to influence next turn, which is nice. Then they don't have a Thoughtseize in their hand, which is also nice. They might have Smasher, which is beatable if they only have 1. 2 is pretty bad for us. Only hitting 1 land off the loam is bad. We really wanted to hit 2. So now I think I'm probably just supposed to trade Tracker for Smasher, and I'm going to draw and see if I hit a discard spell. Pog. Although, didn't take a very useful card. They're also not sacking their Mind Stone. Don't know why that is. Oh, hit 3 lands, so we're about to start being a real influencer. Is that the name of the title? This should say discard a land card or another Ayula's influence. That was maybe like what the card needed. Make a bear. Hit a wastes. Yeah, their draw's been quite poor. We could also get back Ghost Quarter. Oh, their draw has not been quite poor. Maybe I should have Ghost Quartered them. I guess we cannot win. I think that we need... I guess we have Cling to Dust. We just build over Cling to Dust. Or... Hold on, let's get Peatland, Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter them. Guess and we might as well cast another Influence. But Cling to Dust can keep us alive. And we can gang block the Ballista. This is good if they had Ugin, one of my influences. It is relatively free. They can't crack their map, of course. Can't really attack either. And then we can Cling to Dust to stop them from killing us with Ballista. Definitely a really good pickup. How good is 3 bears a turn? I guess we're only making 2 bears this turn. Can't really attack quite yet. Dead to another Tron piece. Oh, I exiled my creatures. I mean, they still have 1 in their yard, but it's probably supposed to leave 1. Yeah, that is needled, so it doesn't really do anything. It's maybe worse for them to do that than put a counter on Ballista, actually. So we can actually make 5 bears this next turn off of Peatland. Dredging Loam. Be really good to find a cycle land, actually. So we get the, and then we can also Ghost Quarter their tower to stop them from drawing, Ghost Quarter their tower to stop them from drawing a land. Do it on their turn though, so that way if they have another wastes, if they play 3 wastes, which I think is standard to play 3 wastes. Could be wrong. But we at least don't get got. And we can also attack with our bears. And I guess I'll actually upkeep, so that way if they draw a spell, we won't give them the information if they should tap there. If they should make a ballista in their upkeep or not, a ballista counter. If they'd have a second waste, then it just doesn't really matter that much when we do this. I really thought we were dead to ballista, but looks like we have overwhelmed them with bears. Smasher? Smasher doesn't do it. I don't think. Does Smasher do it? Does anybody know? Anybody like super good at math? If they kill 2 bears here, yeah. You will barely survive. That's probably going to be the best part of this league, is the memes. Right? We won a game! Let's go to game 2, game 3. Does this deck play Ayula? No. We're no fun over here. Ayula, like one Ayula might be worth it. I don't know. Card's pretty medium. If there's somehow 5 of those, we need a t-shirt. Hell yeah. We worth that more than 1 Ghost Quarter. I mean, Loaming Ghost Quarter is real slow. But maybe. 1 Parallel Lives. Is that, I don't know. It's just so much mana. Like 4 or 5 mana enchantments. I don't remember how much it is. I think it's 4 mana. But a 4 mana enchantment that doesn't do anything unless you have another 3 mana enchantment and a lot of lands to discard is just not a card you want to put in your deck usually. But if Parallel Lives were an emblem that you began the game in play with, I would play it. Do you ever want Fatal Push against Thought-Knot Seer? Yeah, if you have a fetch land in the cast Thought-Knot Seer, but Fatal Push is really only good against Thought-Knot Seer. It kills Ballista, but it's not like a good answer to it. It's not a good answer to Matter Reshaper, which is Smasher. And you have Goyfs and Lilies and Elder Gargaroths and Bears to win the creature combats. So I don't think... I really dislike Fatal Push against E-Tron, but sometimes you'll play 1 or 2 against them. Gitrog is a magic card, yeah. Probably mulliganing this. Beck Call with Dakmore Salvage for infinite card draw and infinite bears, or as many in your deck. It's a lot going on, but it's cool. Keep this. And it's pretty good. Yikes. They kept a 2-lander? Drew the land. I guess I'll just take both of their castable spells. I guess I also need to get Overgrown Tomb. Super painful hand. We can Ghost Quarter their temple. No! Loam would be good. Start Ghost Quarter Loaming them. So it has Ulamog, Smasher, mystery card. Dang it. It's gonna name Karn, I think. Wait, they got Tower? Weird. Don't really think we can attack. So they have Smasher, Ulamog, mystery card. I mean, they're implying that they have... I mean, maybe they just are trying to go for Ulamog. But even Tron doesn't let them cast it. They're card short. Alright. We have a plan, I guess. They do have 2 wastes, so they should be able to get a land here. We should start to be able to Ghost Quarter lock them. I believe that they showed us last game they only have 2 wastes. Am I misremembering, chat? And then if we can Loam and grow the Goyf to be 5 power to stop the Smasher, we're maybe doing okay. Yeah, just Dredge Loam. If we hit a Liliana or an Influence or like even a Cycle Land to get a redraw, Goyf becomes 5 power. We missed. Dang it. So close. I guess there's not a huge difference between being at 6 and 7. But I don't think I'm Ghost Quartering them here. I mean, I guess this loses to another Smasher. But I can't Dredge Loam next turn, really. Need to draw like an Influence. They have another Smasher. Ballista. Dead to Ballista. Or not dead to Ballista, but I chump block and then have no outs. Chalice on 2. Not a card I'm dead to, I guess. This is the worst attack in the history if they attack. Yeah, just terrible, terrible attack there. No, don't do it. Don't, come on, please don't do it. This is a terrible attack. Stop, opponent. Okay, they figured it out. Alright, I'm just gonna draw Influence, I guess. Or Liliana. Liliana does it too, kind of. The last card's Ulamog, which just doesn't grow the Goyf. I mean, growing the Goyf doesn't even matter anymore. Alright, close game, maybe. If we had hit an Influence or just anything. An instant, although I cited out most of my instants. Okay, well, we have an Influence. We played against this opponent earlier. I just recognized the username. They were playing Esper. So maybe I shouldn't have kept this hand because it has 2 dead cards. But I would have kept it the blind. So whatever. And then Liliana can, if Liliana resolves, if we're lucky enough for that to happen, Liliana gets to turn your dead cards into 1-for-1s. Loam would be a pretty good draw. It's probably a good matchup. I think I'm jamming Liliana. Really wish I had drawn Inquisition, you know, last turn, whatever. They just have so many 3-mana counter spells. Loam. I would have drawn 2 in response pretty easily here. I guess they have Snap Ops. Their hand's so good. Their hand is so good. Alright, I think we can't win. Honestly, their hand's like maybe so good that we can't win. Were they opt in response? I guess they're gonna logic opt the Goyf. Alright, we can cast a Influence that does nothing and then lose the game. Or we can just go to game 2. Maybe a little light on spells for this matchup. I usually really dislike Brutality in these kind of matchups, but maybe it's something we need to play. Brewfisto. Got a deck. Yeah. Got a lot of good plans in this matchup at least. Delirium aggro. I mean, Archfiend's Vessel is very cool. Is your only combo with it Luris? Call of the Death Dweller 2? Cool. I like the Heart of Kirin a lot. This deck looks sick. Oh, we have the nuts. Let me think a bit more about it, but the deck looks sick. Very creative. Uh, 20 lands honestly feels like maybe like one too many, perhaps. 4 Agadeem's Awakening also seems high. I don't think I'd ever play more than 3 of that card anyways. Like maybe even 2. You just don't hardcast Agadeem's Awakening almost ever, and then like it dealing 3 damage to you is a big cost. So I'm not sure exactly what you're playing instead. You can play Woodland Cemeteries. That card's just modern or Pioneer legal, right? Can't remember. I think I should have shocked your opponent to make them discard. Oh, sorry for the Prismari command. Well, land Agadeem's Awakening I think is it's just a card I don't think you ever want to play more than like 2 copies of. They don't have a 3rd land. Let me take this Archmage's Charm. So if they do draw a 3rd land, it's still not even that good for them. And we can go Dredge Loam and Brutality away their Vanishing Verse. Yindrik, how many basics does your deck play? 5, right? Oh, they drew Force, Tilt. Three, 1/1. Cool. That's what I thought. Well, I don't want them to Vanishing Verse my Goyf. I'll just dress them. I guess I have 2 Goyfs. Yeah. This makes sense. The deck looks sick. I honestly don't have like too many notes besides like maybe like this is too much removal in the main deck. Maybe you want like threats over the Decays and Sideboard Decays, and I wouldn't play only 2 Agadeem's Awakening. Deck looks really sick. Man, they just like needed to not draw Force that turn. I guess they could have drawn like... Well, they couldn't have drawn land Kaya's Guile. I mean, we're still in good shape, but the Force was so good for them. And not a super relevant Inquisition. They have Snap, Teferi. They can go Snap Push on my Goyf now. Another Loam would be a good draw. Tranquil Thicket. Not sure if this is supposed to be a bear, if we're supposed to cycle. Probably supposed to cycle. Or at least wait. I don't think we need to trade the bear for the Snapcaster right now. Alright, so if they miss on their Teferi for a turn, we're maybe okay. It looks like they didn't find the land. Am I gonna ever reattempt my watching of Queen Gambit again? Maybe when season 2 comes out. It was very draining the first time. Makes it sound like I didn't like this show. Right, did they draw a counter spell? Their end can be... It's not a land. So it can be a removal spell, it could be another Hero of Dominaria, but it's very likely that they have a counter spell. Cryptic Command is the worst by a large margin, but there's no way you don't jam Liliana here. Just hope they drew a removal spell. It looks like Cryptic because they fetched. It could be Snap Mana Leak. Counter Return Snapcaster. I feel like I just would have drawn because you want to hit your Teferi. Oh, they're going to Snap Vanishing Burst, I see. That makes sense. Never mind. It's going to be kind of a frustrating game where just need our opponent to brick a couple times, and they drew the force, and they definitely, you know, drawn well this game. Minusing there is really good for us though. Ooh. It's very greedy to needle this. No, it's not even that greedy. They don't have that many answers to needle. Yeah, they don't have that many answers. Yeah, really, if we just got to resolve that Loam, it was like just game over. Card on the bottom with Opts. Gonna save that for the tracker that's on top. You needle Jason, kill Teferi when your opponent's at 8. I think it's like, I mean, if my opponent's life total was higher, I'd consider that line a little heavier. Alright, well, yeah, 2 cards in your hands. Probably have a counter spell. At least dodge Force of Negation. About to draw Tracker, so I don't be concerned about Jace. I don't know. It's like they really have to answer the bear. Yes, 100%. I don't know. Like, by needling Teferi and attacking them, like, we maybe cut them off a draw step when they're, like, essentially top decking. It's certainly not 100% to needle Jace. This also means, like, they can't... They could also just have another Teferi in their hand. That's, you know, definitely a possibility. Well, it's maybe the best draw. Never mind. Alright, bummer. What are the advantages this deck has over playing Dredge? You tell me. But maybe that's just how you have enough blue cards to play Force. Problem is, if I ever stream with 61 cards, I'm going to get a million questions about it. GG's Lorenz. Yeah, I was trying to figure out Bant, Squirrel Blade with Vile, and Paulo. I also was thinking, like, maybe you could be Abzan, and, like, maybe Paulo's card plays better with a discard strategy compared to a, Paulo's, you know, like, you're already playing discard spells. You can play, like, Abzan, Squirrel Blade with Noble Hierarch. Yeah, but I think Paulo's pretty good. Just a tough one. Yeah, Diamonds, have you played Paulo's card in Abzan yet? I think it is your duty to play every single Abzan card. I think we take the Souls here. I'm just not sure. Skyclave's, I mean, Skyclave is good against us. But it's not good against our hand. Oh, they cast Lingering Souls from their hand? Dude, this has been a brutal league for the Bears. Guess I should just decay a token. I cut 2 lands from this deck. This deck started off as a 28 lander. I thought that was way too many. Some good draws here, though. Loam is one of my favorite single decks, and this deck might be sucker. I don't know. Influence is better than Seismic Assault, I think. I'd rather like have a bear, usually. Usually would rather have a bear than a shock. I think also doesn't mean you have to like splash triple red in your green-black deck. Maybe a good time to remind the chat that we have implemented an 04 drop policy for Donation Deck Thursday. And we've had to use the policy a couple times too. Just want to trim Thoughtseize actually. But why? This deck wants a lot of different cards. So many, in fact, it may necessitate calling it by a new name. Perhaps. For bros, 60 months. Appreciate the kind words, buddy. I think I'm too scared to play 61 cards. I'm just gonna get made fun of all day if I do. Can't, my feelings are still in shambles. I think I just cast Loam, right? Yeah, I'll cast Inquisition. We know we at least want to hit the Kai's Guile. Reclaimer could be good? Maybe. Maybe. Reclaimer's a good card. Pretty underplayed card too. $61 cards makes more sense than Kiki Chord, yeah. More cards is usually better in decks with tutors. I don't really want to Loam their silent clearing, since that's their only black source. And if we field their castle, probably better to use the quarter. Been success with the first draft it brought back, soft the Fulminator's Mentors. Soft. So wait, so you're just main decking Fulminator Mage instead of Mentor? Don't hate it. Kind of like it. I mean, no Mentors is kind of crazy though. I feel like I'd play Mentor over Lurrus. I think I'd play Mentor over Lurrus. Or maybe I just want to kill... No, kill that. Man, I'm going to need to... I feel like I just really want to test and find a different brought back shell for tomorrow. I feel like the deck is so close to being great. Yesterday's stream was such a roller coaster where it started off so hot. We were crushing with it, just absolutely killing. And then all of a sudden we couldn't win a game, and I don't understand. I just don't understand. But I do feel like I would want to play Mentor over Lurrus. Like I feel like you just like can't close out games without Mentor. If you go full land destruction brought back, would it be better than just regular Ponza? Well, I mean, I think that the land destruction aspect of Ponza is like usually an incredibly overstated part of the deck. You know what I mean? Where the land destruction isn't... Your land destruction is your interaction. It's not actually how you're winning the game, you know? It's your interaction. And so you have lots of different game plans beyond it too. Still no cycle land. You feel the opposite. Mincer feels one more we can push for a win off showdown or burn. I don't know if I agree. It's like, what are we showdowning onto? Like Mentor like helps like actually give us bodies to showdown onto. Well, Fulminator Main and Rider's side. Yeah, Fulminator Mage might be better than Avalanche Riders. Although the problem is, all right, let's get a prediction going. 0-4. 0-4. Surely we thought we were going to do better than this, but here we are. Okay, our deck has so many lands. Let's keep this. Judge is familiar. Familiar is kind of interesting. I don't know. Seems a little underpowered. We have Cling to Dust. They also don't have white mana for their Thrilling Discovery. I almost just immediately took Thrilling Discovery. I didn't hit the land, but they didn't. I mean, well, I guess they couldn't have cast Thrilling Discovery no matter what this turn. All right, let's try to find a land. Feels bad to use our Cling to Dust in this way, but we did get rewarded. Oh, the third Cathartic Reunion off the top. Tilts. They didn't hit an Ox, though. Did they hit a Loam? Oh, they've got their Amalgam back now anyways. Yeah, getting Creeping Chill by Dredge in the 0-3 bracket feels so bad. Alright, Tarmogoyf, you got 26, maybe 31 points of damage to deal. It's so lucky for us that they just didn't find a Loam. Still no Loam. We have a Loam, though. We only have one land in our yard. I think I'm just going to discard the Influence to Liliana and Cling to Dust. Or hold up Cling to Dust, rather. Specifically, like if they dredge over a Loam, we can hit that. You can hit me hit anything. They took a draw step. They didn't dredge. Do I Cling to Dust something? I think no. Just need them to brick. They did not brick. Good draw, opponent. Womp womp. I don't think we can really win there. We can Cling to Dust either the Conflagrate or the Ox, but they get like 1,000,000 power in play, and they get Conflagrate or Ox. Cut Lily. I mean, we just don't have cards to bring in, you know? We just don't have cards to bring in. This has been one of the roughest leagues I've ever played. How did they keep that hand? Oh, man. Can we mulligan the Dono League? We can mulligan and drop. How are we facing against Dredge in the 0-3 bracket? Well, I guess their draw is actually... I mean, their keep, I think, was really bad. They kept triple City of Brass, too. Their keep was so bad on 7. What the hell is going on in the chat right now? I'm not paying too much attention, but I don't know. If any mods can monitor it and just like keep shit under control. Pretty sure we want to play a land, so next turn we can double Loam. Snowflake, 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 snowflake. I don't know. It's not a big deal if, you know, you're used to saying he and you keep saying he. I think it's way better if you don't, you know? Because if it doesn't matter to you, it does matter to other people, you know? And it doesn't really cost you almost anything to be courteous to people who have a really hard time in this world, you know? But it's not even just that. Like, if your opponent is a you know, it's so frustrating. Just people who like actually their whole argument is I just don't want to change how I talk because I don't like being told what to do. It's just so you can't argue with those people, you know? They're just like, hey, could you have some common courtesy for your opponent? No, I don't want to be told what to do. Just like, oh, wait, what are you supposed to say to that? Just ban this conversation? I don't know. And like and imagine the person making a big stink out of like, you know, the person making a big stink calling everyone a snowflake because they're like will refuse to not call their opponent a he. Imagine like then, you know, they're the one that's being, you know, unreasonable, and they're the actual snowflakes, the ones who just can't like give their opponent some common fucking courtesy. It's so frustrating. Panterian, thank you for your subscription. Appreciate you. And I don't know, I don't want to just like shut up about this because like toxic people are going to come into the chat and like call us snowflakes because we want to try to foster a more welcoming community, you know, instead of just fostering this fucking boys club that Magic the Gathering is seen as. We can actually try to be welcoming to people and try to, you know, make it not just freaking creepy chill. Just keep it a stupid boys club forever because you can't be bothered to try to make people feel welcome. Yesterday we talked about this too, and I got multiple people DMing me on Twitter telling me my comments like made them feel, you know, more welcome, you know? And like people like me who just like shut up when this topic is brought up, it just doesn't help but just keep the fucking boys club going. I'm just, you know, again, if you're used to saying he, it's not a big deal. I get it. I was the exact same way, like every fucking dude is. But to like have to die on this hill, to just like insist on being rude when for no reason other than I don't want to stop being rude is just the stupidest fucking argument ever, and I just can't entertain it. Devin, thank you for extending your sub. That's awesome. It was a troll who started all this. I don't know. I just like, I mean, even if it's a troll, there's people who act like this, and I'm not going to just shut up about it. I want to, you know, make sure that we can foster a welcoming, inclusive community. Because and if it doesn't matter to you, and like it's also not something that I can really personally. It's not something that you know. affects me a lot. You know, it's so easy. It would be so easy for me to not care. It would be so easy for me to not care, as like a lot of people don't care. But it really, really matters to a lot of people. And, you know, there are a lot of people in this life who just getting to, just like finding out their own identity and figuring out who they are is such a huge hurdle to jump through. It's such a huge hurdle for some people to jump through just to feel normal. And just a little bit of common courtesy can go such a long way in impacting someone's life. Just making them feel welcome and normal can be such a big deal in someone's day-to-day life. And just the smallest amount of common courtesy can go such a long way. So please, I really do encourage you to try to be a good member of the community and try to be courteous.